Turn it up, turn it up.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Hey.
Yeah.
This is the Positive Forces show, y'all.
Yeah.
You choose radio.
Let's take it back to the 90s.
Taking it back to the 90s for you.
Back to the 90s. Let's go. Yo, this is the kind of groove that moves you. Makes you want to get up and dance. Makes your body feel real good. So I wish somebody would mess up my groove tonight. Cause I'm trying to rock all right. Get my house on all night. So DJ beat that shit.
Hey, hey.
So DJ beat that shit. Yeah, beat that shit. DJ beat that shit. Yeah, beat that shit.
Yo, this is Yola's Jam, y'all.
Yeah,
Pastor Wendy Mitchell, positivity on the ITY. Hello, fly lady.
Makes you want to get up and dance. Makes your body feel real good. So I wish somebody would mess up my groove tonight. Cause I'm trying to rock all right. Get my house on all night. So DJ beat that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, beat that. DJ beat that. Yeah, beat that. Beat that.
Hey, this is the Positive Forces show, always giving you more, sending you positive vibes
to change your lives.
Hey, I am your host, Kimone Hall.
And I'm your co-host, Yola. Yoli.
In the house. This is how we do it each and every Saturday afternoon. Go, Yola!
So DJ beat that.
So DJ beat that.
Hope y'all having a fantastic Saturday.
Yeah, beat that. DJ beat that. Yeah.
This is You Choose Radio. How you feeling, fly girl?
I'm good. Good.
Good. Hey.
How about you, Kim?
4.
Hey,
y'all, we got 4 goods today. That's a blessing.
I wasn't even counting.
Yeah, I have to count. Yo, we've been counting. We always count the goods. Because when Yola is good, we always have a great time. You know that. You know she is here with us. So we're playing Yola's Jam. Thank you, Pastor Wendy, Dr. Mitchell. She said, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We miss you, lady.
Yeah, beat that. DJ, beat that. Yeah, beat that. Beat that.
Hey.
Dance, it's my house. Dance, it's my house. Dance, it's my house.
All right. Let's go ahead and just jump into prayer as we always do, and then we're going to start this.
Yes.
Go ahead, Yola.
Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together for another episode of the Positive Forces show. Lord, remind us that you are in control. Remind us what we are supposed to do, what we're called to do, Lord. Protect us, walk with us, keep us in your hand, make our tongues responsible, and make us think before we act. I pray for this in your name. Amen.
Oh, Lord, think before we act. Yikes. That's what I'm gonna say right now. Oh, she's throwing the punches. Oh Lord. Think before you act, y'all. All right. So let's talk to me about your week, Yola.
So I had a good week.
Oh.
I can't complain. I got a lot of work done, helped a lot of people, got some thank yous from my customers, which is always nice.
All right.
And it was an overall good week. I can't complain. You know, my day was good. I'm still working from home, so I'm enjoying that.
All right.
Bible study fellowship was good this week. We talked about a lot. We unpacked a lot of stuff, and it was just a good week. I can't complain.
Awesome. All right. All right.
How about
all
you,
right.
Kimmy Kim?
All right. That's good. Yo, my week is starting off really nice. We're on spring break, so you know we're on vacation. So you know vacation is always a good thing for us. Teachers looking forward to the time off away, so we can create that good mental space so we can return back to the kids and pour into them continuously as we always do. So it always a good time to be out of work and to take some time for yourself and family. So that's what we're doing right now. And we're on spring break, y'all. Not going into Florida, not going onto the beaches, but that's okay. That's what spring break. When I think spring break, I think Cancun, I think Florida, I think the beaches.
Right.
That's what you
Panama
think.
Beach.
Yeah. But a lot of people are too irresponsible out there, man. So COVID is still around, and I don't think it's because of COVID. It's just that I don't know. No interest to go right this minute.
That's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of people traveling left yesterday. I saw on the news. I mean, like a lot of people going through our very airport. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people there that are just going out and doing stuff for spring break, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, not this time. Not this time. Not this time.
And that's okay.
No. And big up yourself.
Do a
Mike.
staycation.
A staycation. I'm doing a staycation, and then I'll be going. Like we'll be doing little things here and there, drive around, drive here and there, and and kind of enjoy the place, but not outside of necessarily Georgia.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yesterday was Michael's birthday.
I saw. I wished him happy birthday. Happy birthday to Michael. Shout out.
Yeah, Michael Russell turned 13. Oh my God, I got a teenager on my hand.
Yes, you have a teenager.
I can't believe that, though.
It's weird, right?
Yo,
It
I have
must
a
be. I don't know what that's
teenager.
like yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be weird.
Yo, I'm looking at him and I'm like, he's grown. I'm like, I always buy Michael's clothes. He told me the other day, he's like, Mom, no, I don't want that. You don't know my style.
That means he's really growing
Bonfire
up.
upon that, yo.
And here goes
This
mommy.
boy told me I did not know his style.
Bye-bye, mommy.
Bye, Mom.
Basically.
So we went to the mall last night, and of course he chose all of his clothes on his own.
And you had to buy it because it's his birthday.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It costs less though.
Well, that's nice.
The stuff that he likes is costing me less.
That's real good.
That's a good thing. Yeah. That's a good thing. I'm like, woo. All right. There's a pro and con to everything. Yeah. How's Micah?
Micah's good. My bundle of joy. Friday, I dropped him off to school, and he has these different days. We go through different things when I drop him off at school.
Okay.
But Friday, he was like, "Okay, mommy, I'll see you later. Make sure you pick me up at lunchtime to take me to the dentist."
What?
And he said, "Give me a high five." Yeah, girl, give me a high five.
He's so
Tell the
responsible.
dentist not to put red toothpaste on my teeth. And don't use spicy toothpaste.
I
I said,
love
"Okay,
it.
Micah. Okay, give me a hug and a kiss and a high five. Okay, bye." And he ran off.
Oh my gosh. How old is he?
He's 5.
15?
Yeah, he acts like a
50?
15-year-old. But no, he's 5.
I think Micah is older than us sometimes, Yo.
Micah is the boss,
Micah is the bomb.
and I love it. And
And
he's
he is
5.
so
I don't even have a
cute.
teenager, and he's my boss. What is that?
Pastor Wendy always talk about Micah on the ones and twos.
Yes. Shout out to Pastor Dr.
Yes, yes.
Wendy Mitchell.
She calls herself the Coco. I don't know why the Coco host, but you are the co-host.
Original Fly Girl.
Original Fly Girl.
Pastor Wendy.
Dr. Wendy.
And shout out to my partner,
Hey.
Claudette Brumfield.
I keep telling you that's my partner.
We're not going through this, no.
Man.
We had this last year. I established that Miss Claudette was my partner, and end of discussion.
Claudette, listen, you know, it's okay. I'm going to share you.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Yes, this is
As I stick my tongue out.
You choose radio, guys. You choose radio. Yeah. All right. So are we ready for Yola's Corner?
Yes, let's do it.
What are we doing? The ceiling?
Surprise me with a good track.
I'll do the ceiling.
All right.
We're going to do it Trinidad and Tobago style.
All right.
Just for you.
Hey.
Faster.
Hey, I'm going to get it. Yeah, this is Yola's Corner, y'all.
Oh, yeah, that's better. Dance to this.
It is happening again. Get your pencils and pens. This is Yoli's Corner.
Always defend me when I'm under attack. Yeah. Have my back when I'm under attack. Hey.
You never leave me hungry, you never leave me thirsty, you always with me in my time of struggle. You never leave me hungry, you never.
So, Yoli's Corner. Oh my gosh. So, you guys know I have these words that come to me in the middle of the night, the week of my Yoli's Corner. That's how I do it. And I actually think that it is the Holy Spirit that's giving me things to talk about. This week, however, not only did I hear the word I had to talk about, but it just so happened some events happened this week that we all know about that, of course, Kim and I are going to get into. But let's start with Yoli's Corner. So today's topic, restraint. Will Smith versus Chris Rock. I'm not going to focus on them, but our example is Jesus.
All right.
So let's get into it.
This
Okay,
will be good. All
so
right.
restraint for the body, the mind, and the spirit. So for the body, showing restraint, in my opinion, is not using your body as a weapon. Right? So my example is like martial arts. People practice martial arts and they can do harm if they don't have the other parts in balance. That would be the mind and the spirit. So they practice much restraint and they don't go around harming people with their body, even though they are capable of doing it.
Right.
They are very, very disciplined. So for the body, restraint for me is being disciplined and having restraint when it comes to what you can and can't do with your body.
Even the fists.
Even the
The
fist.
fists are like, they have to be licensed and you can't just like go around hitting people.
Exactly.
Right.
So my other part for the body is being good to your body by taking care of your temple. Eat right, exercise, of course, but also don't restrict your body from eating those little treats and things that we love. In the diet culture nowadays, everything is about restrictive diet, right? And you have these times when you might want that cookie or cake, but you're forcing yourself not to do it. So rather than trying to restrict yourself that way, how about having restraint for the body in a way that you're giving it everything that it needs? You're giving it the exercise, you're giving it the eating right, and you're also giving it the treats. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's what I think restraint is for your body. Now, to the mind, restraint for me is pushing away your assumptions. Some of us go through life with past hurts and past things that have done that has happened to us from people or situations. And so when it happens again, you make these assumptions. You assume what someone else is thinking. You assume what might be happening. And in actuality, that's not what's happening. You have to realize that your assumptions are stressful for your mind, and they're not based in fact. They are part of your fears. So learn to live in facts. Learn to live in what is actually happening and what you actually see around you. Not those imaginary conversations and situations that you see in your head trying to figure out what's going on and what's not going on. Just try to live in facts and learn how to push those assumptions out of your mind. They lead you into this place that's just not true, right? So my next part for restraint of the mind is learn to feed your mind with good things and realize that good things for your mind could be different for different people, right? For some of us, feeding your mind with good things is praying, being in the Word. For others, it's just learning something that's good for you, exercising your mind, maybe some positive Christian or not affirmations, like we've talked about on Yoli's Corner before. As far as the mind, words are just words. Lots of people say a lot of things. Learn to process quickly when someone says something to you that might be offensive or you might not agree with. Learn to quickly process it so that your reaction is acceptable,
Okay.
right? And the last one, which is really important for the mind, is process, guys. Learn or get help on how to process conflict, how to process your trauma. You know, when you don't process these things, they can come out in a physical manifestation on your body and in your mind. Not only that, but not resolving your conflict, not processing, not doing the work of whatever it is that happened to you, it becomes stuck in your mind and you keep going through it over and over and over until you actually get rid of it. Not only that, but it blocks up, kind of like when your sink is clogged and all, with hair or whatever, and it fills up in the sink and it overflows. Eventually, it overflows. So learn how to process so that it doesn't come back, so you can move forward. Now, the spirit, which to me is the most important one, as far as restraint and the spirit. So, Jesus is our example of how to show restraint. And I'm going to give you some points on what I mean by that. Even though Jesus was crucified, he still asks for our forgiveness. So that is restraint. He didn't have to do that,
He certainly didn't.
right? Even though Jesus was tempted, he was tricked or tried to be tricked by the leaders of that time. Even though some people didn't follow him, he still forgave. He still was a teacher. He still loved. He still showed compassion. And at his very end, he was still mourning because of the people that wouldn't be saved. So that is him showing restraint. Because he could have gotten angry. And he could have, asked God for assistance, but he didn't. He obeyed, which is another way of restraint for the spirit. Learning how to obey what you are supposed to be doing, what you are commanded to do, or what you are convicted to do, or what your purpose is. Being able to be obedient in that is restraint of the spirit. So one example, which I think that really hits home with how to show restraint, is the story of the three little pigs. Now this might sound crazy, but stay with me, and then I'm gonna tell you after where I'm going with this.
Claudette's gonna love
So
this.
the three little pigs. We have one pig that built a house with straw, one that built a house with sticks, and one that built a house with brick. And then the one that survived was the third pig that built his house with bricks. Why? Because he had a strong foundation.
Right.
And even though his foundation was strong, he still managed to open the door for the other pigs to save them. And that is what restraint is for the Holy Spirit also. It's your ability to have a strong foundation, but still be able to help believers and not be believers. Still be open to open your doors to help people. So in conclusion, people, it's really important for us to practice restraint. Learn how to restrain yourself. Please take these points today on Yoli's Corner and start practicing restraint. Don't be the woman on the news this week that heard about her fight her daughter was having at school and showed up at the school with a gun, waving a gun, and eventually got shot in her hand. Don't be that person. Look at our example. Have restraint, people. That's Yoli's Corner on the Positive Forces Show.
All right, all right, that's good. I like it. I
Thank
like
you.
it. I like it. I like it. All right, so okay. Woo, boy, show restraint like Jesus did. I especially love that one. That's a model example of restraint because Jesus did not have to even die on the cross. He could have told, I was about to say, he could have told Dad, he could have told God, spoken to his Heavenly Father and say, this is something I really don't want to do. But he humbled himself and he found it, not too beneath him to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna die on the cross for these people. So we want to thank Jesus for that. And he did say, like you said, you ask for forgiveness, right? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. You know, so yeah. So restraining ourselves is vital, but it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. But it's going to take intentional practice, right?
Yeah, intentional practice and, just making the decision of who you want to be and how you want to act and how you want to show who you are. If your goal as a Christian is to be Christian like, then you have to show restraint.
Yeah, but there are times though, and I guess we're gonna go into this a little bit later.
It takes practice.
There are times. I was just saying. Yeah, it takes practice, and it does take having the Holy Spirit with you to be able to, even like you mentioned at the beginning, Will Smith, right? For Chris Rock, I mean, like kudos to him on showing restraint. And I was talking to Dr. Mitchell, Pastor Wendy, and she was saying how he had mentioned before that he had anger issues. I didn't know about that. And that looked like some good therapy. Because if he had anger issues and he was able to deal with it and being sucked like that and not being able to retaliate, just being in shock and not even going with the norm of a reaction, a physical reaction. I mean, that was stellar. That was a stellar thing. So we're going to talk more about that and our opinions, and we're going to ask you to call in a little bit later as well. But we want to end Yoli's Corner with that. Anything else?
No, that's it. Just practice restraint.
Practice restraint, y'all. That's tough. Please, I know everybody have opinions, so call in, y'all. This is how we end Yoli's Corner
Today.
today.
My song might change next time, guys. I'm still looking for suggestions, so give them to me.
Don't tell them. Oh, well, look at that.
It is our morning again. Well, I'm coming to cry again. Oh, I got to say I love you. Telling you jumping up to this feeling. What a wonderful feeling. God, you are my back. Always defend me when I'm under attack. Telling you jumping up to this feeling.
That's Isaac Blackman from Trinidad and Tobago.
You are my back. Always
To the ceiling. Take out
Hey.
your flag and wave.
You never leave me hungry, you never leave me thirsty. You always with me in my time of struggle. You never leave me weary, you never leave me lonely. Always guide and protect me. Hey, you never leave me desolated and afflicted, Father. Cause in the desert storm, you are my way, yeah. So when they walk in the darkness, I come on me with the madness. You should know that you I can sit you on the madness. I'm jumping out to this feeling. What a wonderful feeling. Cause you are my back. Always defend me when I'm under attack.
You choose radio.
Jumping out to this feeling. What a wonderful feeling. Cause you are my back. Always defend me when I'm under attack. It is happening again. You're not coming to call again. No, I have to say I love
Where you at?
Yeah, I just like this jam.
All right, that was Yoli's Corner, y'all.
What a wonderful feeling. God, you are my back. Always listen to when I'm on that track.
I need a new song.
All right, so she's soliciting ideas for songs, y'all, for her Yoli's Corner.
Yes, because we retired blessed.
What do the people win? What do they get?
I don't get anything except a shout out that you helped me pick a song.
Oh no. Oh no, they're gonna be like, yo, what do I get for that? Yeah, I get something.
Kudos.
It's like the kids, you know? The kids always want something.
Oh, they're not kids though. Right?
I guess. All right, I see a comment. Pastor Wendy said he curls. He could have called. He could have called. He could have called 10,000 angels, but he showed restraint. Yes, he did. Jesus could have called 10,000 angels to get him off and out of all of this mess, that mess that he was in, for us. But he did show restraint, and he's a great example. Thank you, Jesus. We're gonna jump into the weather. In Atlanta right now it is 67 degrees, and it's gonna go sunny, and it's gonna go down to 48. Tomorrow Sunday is gonna be 70 degrees, with a low of 44. On Monday it's gonna be partly cloudy with a high of 76. I just love the warm weather, and with a low of 53. On Tuesday it will rain, so make sure you have your umbrellas. 66 degrees with a low of 61. On Wednesday, it's going to rain again, 78 degrees with a low of 54. On Thursday, it's going to be partly cloudy, partly sunny, partly cloudy, with a high of 67 and a low of 44. On Friday, just all clouds, not much sun, 55 degrees with a low of 38. So that is your weather for the week. Please make sure you have your umbrellas, especially Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesday morning, don't forget your umbrella. Make sure you have it with you. Stay dry. You know, in Atlanta, when it rains, it's like everybody don't know how to drive.
Yeah, that's normal
It's like
here.
they forget how to drive. They drive. They're speeding.
Raining means go faster.
Raining means go faster.
Kind of like the yellow light. Light turns yellow, go faster.
Well, you know, we can talk about the yellow light. To me, that yellow light is an indication to hurry up.
Oh, see?
Yeah, hurry up, go faster, same thing. I'm just playing to the police officers out there that will see this. You choose radio. All right, listen, so let's talk a little bit about current events. So, did you see the news with the young man that fell from the roller coaster?
The 14-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
14-year-old.
didn't see a lot of that, but I heard snippets of it on the news.
Yeah. He fell from the roller coaster. Apparently, they said that he was too heavy for the ride, and upon watching the news, he was turned away from several different rides that night because he was so heavy. And they were just like, "You don't fit the weight requirement." So, how do you think a young kid would feel going to an amusement park and not being able to get on rides? Sucks.
Yeah.
But this one person told him, "Yeah, you can go." And at the end of him coming down, he dropped out of the ride and catapulted to his death. And so, boy, I can't imagine even being the parents of that child. One, two, even being in the seat on the ride next to the individual that fell out from beside me. That must have been traumatizing for everyone in the area. So, condolences to the parents and all that are involved. And boy, mm, yeah. But you know what now? Kids are so not sensitive. There are TikTok trends now with it.
Oh no, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
So there's this one person that did a TikTok trend, but it all these thousands, if not millions, of people are watching it, and it's like he's on that specific ride, and he's showing the ride, but he slowed it down and put it in a daze, and the song behind it too was just like not too cool. So a lot of people are not really happy with that. And but I looked at some of the comments. It's the comments that do it for me. Some are like, "Oh man, I'm dying to go,"
Mm.
and it just throw out stuff which is so insensitive, and that's a trying time. That's a trying time for the parents and even the individuals that work there. You know what? Though, a lot of young people are being hired for these jobs. If you go to Six Flags or Disney or anywhere else, you'll see a lot of young people that are controlling the rides.
Yeah, it's like their summer job.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because you want to be able to give your kids, once they get to a certain age, teach them, responsibility, discipline, having to get up, go to work, and that kind of stuff. So a summer job is a good way to do that, I think.
Yeah, it is. But you wonder if, and I'm sure they give them all the requirements and expectations as a worker. But I don't know in this case. But it's really sad that he passed. Really sad that he passed. And that was in Florida, one of the theme parks in Florida. Tyree Sampson. That was his name. So there's a visual that had a visual, and of course they had to have counselors and everything in the school because, of course, he had friends, and that affected not just his immediate family, but the kids that he's around in his was around in his school as well. So, that's that. And you got any news that really struck you?
Mm-mm. No, except the woman I mentioned who shot went to school with a gun. It just kind of shows you where people are right now.
Yeah.
People, or the other story this week that's been on the week, I think it was on the news this week and last week, about the young lady that got shot over a bowling ball.
A bowling ball.
A bowling ball argument that happened right here in Atlanta.
Like that.
Yeah, there was an argument at a bowling rink. It went outside to get resolved, so to speak, and she ended up getting shot and killed.
Wow.
Yeah, over a bowling ball. I remember seeing the chief of police on the news about it, and you could see he was in shock and at the same time disgusted and in disbelief because a woman got shot over a bowling ball. And now that it looks like this new law that's going to be written in, where people don't need a permit to carry.
Yeah, I saw that.
Anymore.
I saw
It
that.
just makes me, I haven't read it, the entire thing, right? But I just hope that there are provisions in there to stop certain people who should not have a gun. And then for those who, want to have a gun and feel that they need to carry a gun, I often want to ask why.
Why not?
Why do you want to hold? Why do you want to carry one? If you want to have one in your house to defend your house, okay, fine. But why do you want to carry one? And what does that mean for police officers? I mean,
For
do
protection.
you want to do that because you think the police officers need help? Is it because you think that they're not doing a good enough job? Is it, what is your reasoning of wanting to?
How about immediate protection?
What's that mean?
And sometimes if someone knows you have a gun on you, that could be a deterrent from even somebody that's trying to assault you. You know how many men or women are walking home and you have all these different men following them to their home? If they even thought that the woman was able to defend herself, they probably would have not even try to attack this woman. So it's for protection. No, you don't want to carry a gun and go around and shooting people, but you want to have it to. And sometimes when you call the police, how long does it take for them to come?
Sometimes maybe too long.
Right.
In some places they are very responsive. I just find that nowadays, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, sure, have a gun to defend yourself. But lots of people nowadays are not having a gun to defend themselves. They're having a gun in case they are angry that somebody said something or gave them a bad drive, and they go and they shoot them up. That's what people are doing. It's not like it's not the idea of, oh, look at me, I have a gun, I can protect myself. No, it's, oh, look at me, I have a gun, don't mess with me. If you look at me with a side eye, I'ma shoot you. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm just not for that.
Did you hear my gunshot? Did you?
Yes, I did. That was hot.
Cock the gun. Hey, but you know what though? And the reality is a lot of people do a lot of dumb stuff with the guns, like you said.
Yeah.
And even road rage. You could be driving on the road, and because just somebody has their gun, somebody can come to you and harm you just because of something really crazy on the road.
Yeah, remember last year sometime there was a gentleman that thought the woman in front of him didn't respond to the light fast enough. So what did he do? He got out of his car and he punched her in the face. Now imagine if he had a gun.
True. So
When they found him and arrested him, I think they did. I don't remember the news saying anything about him suffering from mental illness or being a criminal. It was just a regular person who decided, oh, you're not going fast enough, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
right.
What?
Well, that person definitely had mental issues. For you to be able to do that, you have to have a mental issue. Or something is definitely wrong with you. And we can't, just because the gun law will be they're looking into dropping the requirements of having a permit. That doesn't mean that people are still responsible with the guns that have the permit. Does it give more people that are irresponsible? Yes.
I think it puts guns in more people's hands
Yeah.
that don't have to get a permit, because getting a permit for a gun is not an easy thing. It's not like overnight. You don't go to whatever county you're in, fill out a form and say, here, I want one, and they give you a permit.
Yeah, you do.
They give you background checks and all of that stuff.
Right. So
It's you're checked. You don't go in on Monday and say you got a permit on Monday afternoon.
no,
So
no. You do have to wait maybe a couple of weeks, and then you do get it. And you have to pay a fee for that too, right? But I think that it's an amendment, right? It's a constitutional right, I should say. And you do smell that, right? Not sure what it is.
yeah, I'm just afraid that it puts more guns in people's hands. Easier. Let's just say easier. It's easier now to have one than not.
Yeah, it does. All right, I'm gonna play some music and check that out. It's smelling a lot too.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna play some music, guys.
Oh man. This is positive. You choose radio, guys.
One na na na, yeah. Them say the grass look green up on the other side, but I lie, la la lie. Never, never, never could I change my side. Me no matter at all, no. See my mind's made up of mice, and so it has stayed. Me never could I change my mind. My father is the most I got, so no matter try waste my time. If I know God, you know me not do it. Never could I change my mind. Say me not do it, me can't do it. Everyone up you make their choice. I'd rather Jesus every time. It no matter the cost, nor the paycheck, can't buy me home. See, I made it this far with my father's help, and far to go. Watch out the proud ones fall and forget. Blessed are the meek, yeah. But me not stop seek your face because two do not play out the streets. So beware, there is a man who's tricky out there. Him just a setting up bits and snare. And me no even walk close to the edge, my friend, cause me no say no pretty out there. Everything around me I go follow. Only what's for God will stay standing strong. I got to live my life circumspect. If me want see Zion, never could have changed my mind. My father is the most I got, so nobody try waste my time. If I know God, you know me not do it. Never could have changed my mind. Say me not do it, me can't do it. Everyone of you make their choice. I'd rather Jesus every time. So watch out for them. Holy polite, them a cute Jezebel with a Esther smile. Oh my, tell me what me ever do if me not trust the one who breathes breath in my heart. But like the Hebrew boys, we now bow. Even when the road's not easy, he's the one thing that I'm sure of. Can't change my mind. My father is the most I got, so nobody try waste my time. If I know God, you know me not do it. Never gonna change my mind. Say me not do it, me can't do it. Every one of you make their choice. I'd rather Jesus every time. See, I found that there is another way. Yeah, this other way will make just right.
You choose radio.
Ah,
Good evening, Richard.
place of the most high.
Dang, I wish I could see people. I can't see anything on my end. Well, shout out to all y'all.
Donegal.
Yes. Shout out to you, Richard. Thanks for listening to the Positive Forces Show.
All right, we're going to go into our relationship topic. All right, so it's not going to really be a huge. This is what it's going to be about: dating trends. Okay, it's going to be about dating trends in the now, in the 2022. And you're probably wondering, what could those trends be?
Yes, I'm wondering.
I think that the entire perspective of dating has changed since the pandemic. And research is showing that singles, are totally looking at dating in a different light, different spin. Not all together, but different spin. So one of the trends is that, and they looked into it, and they said that 91% of um, of people that are dating, they like to date someone that has been, get ready, to therapy.
Ooh,
Yes. Been to therapy.
really?
Yes. So now this is, and they're consciously talking about it. Hey, have you gotten help with the things that you've been, your past? Because we talk so much about how, people have so many baggage from past hurts, from different relationships, right?
Yes, a lot of bag ladies and bag men out there.
Yeah, right. And you might have been the good one, and you poured yourself into this person, and this person like pooped on you, right? And you're just like, why? So now I'm gonna take it out. I'm not gonna do this. Take it out on all the other women. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna slow down on this. I'm not gonna too much chivalry. So you make all these changes, and then you see, okay, maybe if this person don't deserve it, then I'm not gonna do that. As opposed to being yourself and freely doing and giving the way that you usually do, right? So now people are talking about, hey, therapy. Have you gone to therapy? And these are open conversations that people are having to say, hey, have you gotten help?
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like today, I did talk about, as far as restraint was concerned, I did say something about processing and getting help to process past traumas.
Yeah.
So therapy is a way to do that.
Yeah. It's a great way.
talking to somebody that is unbiased, but also a therapist, because there's all different types of therapists out there, but one that can help you specifically with whatever you need to unpack and process and work through. So, my best friend and I, shout out to my bestie. I
Hey,
don't think she's on yet,
Erica.
but shout out to Erica.
Shout out to you.
We watch a reality show called Ready to Love
Okay, ready to love. All right.
on BET.
Okay.
Everybody that hasn't checked out Ready to Love, check it out.
I
It's a good
haven't.
one.
I haven't.
Check it out. So, um, some of the people on there talk about being going to therapy and
See?
going through therapy,
All right.
to help. And even with therapy, it's good, but you have to be willing to hear what the therapist is saying, and you have to understand that you really have to make an effort to unpack what it is. You have to be really open and really honest, and sometimes people aren't really ready for that.
Yeah, yeah.
And while going through the therapy process, you could learn how to do that, how to be vulnerable in relationships. But then I also think that when you're with somebody, it takes time to know who that person is. It takes a lot of vulnerability, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of honesty to be able to actually know that person without getting too deep into it. And as you get older, and I think this is for young people too, that we don't do when we're young, is to not waste time. You know, don't waste time. If you're getting actions that show that this person's not into you, believe them. Believe them and don't feel bad about it. Sure, you'll feel bad about it because it hurts, especially if you like the person, like really, really like.
Right.
Yeah. It's okay. For that one person that's not really into you, there's 10 other people that are into you that you're not seeing because you're wasting time on this one person that's not into you. So, therapy, I like it. So, how does that look, you think? You think you go on a couple of dates and he goes, "Have you been to therapy?"
Well, it said, like I said, it says 91% of users want to date someone
Who has been or goes to,
therapy,
who goes to therapy.
and then 89% will do a second date once the person have mentioned that they are in therapy or they had some kind of therapy. So the second date is very important. We all can go on first dates, right? But the second date is very important. But that percentage is rather high.
It's very high.
Yeah,
I wouldn't guess that at all.
Yeah, and Richard said you will have a therapeutic relationship, and I think that's true. I think that once people are cognizant of who they are and who they're with, and what are their foundations, like you used that word before earlier, what are your foundations, your fundamental beliefs and goals for this relationship that you're in, and being able to be prioritizing your mental health. That's another thing that they are saying that people are doing, prioritizing their mental health. That is paramount to making sure that you have a stable relationship. People don't usually, I think before the pandemic, I don't know, I don't think that was something that was an extreme focus. Yes, you look for the signs, but it wasn't something that was literally said. There's something
You mean
that,
as far as going to therapy?
yeah, like, do you go to therapy, like how's your mental stability?
That's very good and true point that you make, because when I think about the discussions that we've had on the Positive Forces show as they relate to relationships pre-COVID and what our talks were during COVID, that wasn't something that was brought to the forefront.
No.
Especially not the part about going to therapy. So it's almost like because people were isolated,
Yeah.
they got to isolate with themselves or with others or with loved ones and realize that they need therapy.
Yeah.
Because usually, you're just going on this race, in the words of Bob Marley, rat race, right? You just go on this race of tunnel vision,
Yeah.
where we're batteries. I say this all the time. We're batteries, guys. And you don't really focus on what's going on up here
Mhm.
or in here.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's wonderful. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
add that.
yeah, it's most likely like, hey, this guy is fine or this girl is fine, and this person has a good job and they treat me nice and I'm attracted to them, and
Ticks all the boxes.
check those boxes. Is this person in church? If you're a church goer or not, and you check those boxes and you go along with it. But I think there's start people are starting to dig in to the meat. I think people are starting to say, hey, wait, okay, wait, hold up. I have this time. I've had this time of 2019 to to current during the pandemic to actually look over my life and see what's most important to me, to see who are important to me, what values do I really have, how was I able to cope even during this time, and then if somebody was with somebody during COVID, how did this person treat me? So is this really what I want? So now people are we're starting to process, and then domestic violence increased like tremendously, right? So spouses didn't want to be home and they couldn't go see their side chick, and it was just this whole chaotic thing. And women were beating up their men and the men were beating up their women, and it was just like a lot, and it was so fast paced. So when COVID forced everyone to slow down, people started really looking into what is it that I really want. Like I could have been dead, or the situation that I placed myself in before, I could have lost my life. Is this something now? Now I think the value of life and the value of not wasting time is
And
now
also of learning about yourself and the person that you're with. I mean, like really learning, because now that you're stuck, you see, especially when they do the whole work from home thing in there.
That's in the forefront now of people's minds, right? Yeah. Richard said, start with therapy, continue and finish with therapy. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Because and your therapist doesn't have to be a secular person. That's a psychologist. That's that can't give you good godly guidance. You can use your pastor. You can use a pastor of a pastor, or somebody within your organization that can give you sound counsel as well. Some people like therapists that they're it's independent of both people. Like there's no affiliation anywhere. There's no bias, right? So that's good too. But whatever your preference is, make sure it's something that you both agree on, and go with it. But yeah, Richard, start with therapy, and a part of therapy could be not necessarily sitting down in front of someone, which is vital, but praying too can be a part of therapy. And I think when we go to God with these issues that we have, that's like the best person or to go to, because God is the only one that can fix a lot of these problems. Because once you go to therapy, you go to a man and you say, okay, or a woman, these are my issues. Now you go and you pray and you're like, all right, God, I want you to help us to fix this issue. Help me to fix myself. Help me to be more accepting of my person, of my partner. Help me to not be so my gosh, you didn't put the toilet seat down again. My gosh, you didn't, check the door at night. And those are important things. My gosh, you didn't, the toothpaste, you didn't squeeze it all the way from the bottom and bring it all the way up, you drop your clothes on the floor, like, all these things. You're like, okay, can I accept that this person is sloppy and messy? Because this is the person you decided to be with, right? Do I does this if this person don't change, say you're married and you're just like, is it worth me leaving this person? Let's look at the other things about this person that are better. When you weigh it all out, you're like, okay, let's fix this, let's work with this. Let me not be such a person or drag about it, or so anal about it. Let me just try and do my best, right? So that was another point, prioritizing mental health.
Good. I love it.
Okay.
I really do like it. There are all different types of therapists out there. There's even Christian counselors who are sometimes reverends and sometimes they're not. But if that's your preference, do that.
Mhm.
And don't be embarrassed or ashamed to say that you go to therapy.
No, I mean, like it's the end thing now. Like
Yeah.
now it's gonna be like you don't go to therapy. What the heck
Right.
is wrong with you?
Right, which is kind of weird that
Like
it's
you
the
don't
in
have a
thing.
counselor?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it's the in thing, but
Yeah.
the bigger picture that it's actually good that it's the in thing because, like I said, we have a problem processing
Hmm.
trauma, conflict. We don't process those things, and therapy is a good way to do that.
Yeah. Look at years ago, like our parents would never even entertain the thought of therapy because they didn't want other people to know their business. Like what was going on in their household because it was so embarrassing. They were so private. And I think as the years pass by, they've been trying to push that it's okay to have a therapist. It's okay to have counseling. It's okay. It's a good thing for you to have someone to sit down to process and help you through so that, you can go to the deep rooted things that have caused you to respond and be the person that you are. And okay, how do I get rid of this and then be able to move on? And prayer definitely helps in being able to identify these core roots causes, you know. Yeah, I think that's excellent. I think that's excellent. I think that's really excellent for people to do that. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right, another thing, another dating trend here in 2022 is people are interested now in dry dates. Dry dates. DRY, dry dates. What's that?
No alcohol.
No alcohol. Right. So
Yeah.
they're like, hey, you know what? I want to go. And to me, it kind of ties in with the mental health. I want to go and I want to have a time and I want to be responsible. I want to actually get to talk and know this person and not just to feel good. Because pre pandemic, yo, everybody just went on dates and they drank and they hooked up and they did whatever and they don't even know if they ever see that person again, right? If they're not responsible.
I think that happened before and after COVID.
Yeah.
And I think dry dating was before and after COVID too, but I do support dry
Dry
dating.
date, yeah. So you go, you
It's nice this idea that, drinking, helps you to relax, but I think it's way better to be alert because sometimes you might just drink and have too many. Maybe your tolerance for alcohol is low. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's better to just not and be yourself.
yeah. So people are like ordering iced teas and or drinks without the alcohol, or, no cocktails. Just like, hey, let me get a Sprite. And that's how it's just like, hey, I want to be conscious. I want to know what I'm saying to you. I want to know what you're saying. I want to hear you, and that can eliminate a lot of date rapes and just so much wasted time, right? I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I said it can eliminate. I'm not saying it's a all end or a definite recipe, but
Right.
it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Howard Tape, what's up, baby? Hey! Shout out to you. All right, that's Howie. All right, so let's see. 78% of people are obsessed with TikToks or Instagram snapshots. So they're saying if you're obsessed with these social media, yo, that's okay, that's you, but remain single and
For real?
leave me alone until you get yourself together, until you really want a partner. Yeah. Yeah, like you're obsessed with this. Like you're always on the Snapchat, because you see people
Yeah.
on dates and both people are on their phones.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so if you're just be single. It was nice meeting you. Maybe call me when you're really interested in getting to know someone and getting into a serious relationship.
That's funny. I don't even know what to say about that one because it's true.
Yeah.
It's very true that people are so obsessed and into social media, all the different platforms that they eat, breathe, and drink and eat it. And so when you're on a date and you're like all into your cell phone, you're really not giving that time to the person, which I personally think is extremely rude.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that people do it. And it's funny, I find that people that are in a relationship, in my opinion, probably do it more than somebody that's just getting to know somebody. Because when you're first trying to get some know somebody, first date, second date, you're trying to put your best foot forward. You're trying to show that person your representative. And so hopefully they're not doing that. But that's pretty bad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, stay single if you're going to do that.
Yeah, people do it. People do it. People do it.
Or just meet people online that way.
Like I've seen some stuff. Yeah, I've seen some stuff, and like some guys are like saying, "Hey, it's a good thing I'm into being an influencer on social media because my girl's into it too." So like you're out and everything becomes a photo opportunity, a video opportunity, and it's just like if you're not into that, it could be like, all right, you're doing too much. You're overboard now. If you're not into it. But if you are, then it's like, hey, this is just another opportunity for us to showcase what we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Shout out to Robert Satterwhite. Thanks for tuning in to the Positive Forces Show.
Hey, Robert.
And shout out to Joseph Ronald Medina. He says, hi, Yola, all the way from Trinidad.
Hey,
Hi.
Trini people.
Thank you for tuning into the Positive Forces Show.
Absolutely. Shout
Here's
out.
another one.
Shout out.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, so don't get me wrong. People still want to have fun. So before it was more of, hey, let's talk. Let's then see if we are compatible. And then let's see if we're ready to actually meet each other. So now it's just like, it's 2022. We've lost so much time. Yo, forget all that. Let's just meet and chill.
I have no comment on that.
Yo, instead of us sitting on the phone, let's just meet. I'm okay with that because guess what? Ish. Pros and cons to everything, right? So if you meet somebody and a conversation or two, and you feel a vibe, and you're like, all right, let's meet in a public spot that's well lit, and let's just sit and get to know each other. You're not doing anything, I'm not doing anything. Let's just meet, drop what we're doing, and go being spontaneous. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I just don't think that, just jumping into something with somebody is the same as not wanting to waste time. I don't think that's the same thing. I think not wanting to waste time is understanding that, I meet somebody, maybe we're not compatible. Fine, let's just be friends and don't go any further than that.
But going out to meet someone for the first time is not saying, hey, I want a relationship.
No, it's not.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying either.
Okay. I want to make sure I understand you.
Yeah, it's just that being upfront and honest about who you are and what you want.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. And then it could get to the point where you go out to meet a guy or you go out to meet a girl, and it's just like, why did I even bother? I should have just checked before. Like, we don't even like the same things. I want a child, you don't want a child. It's not gonna work out. I just want to go home. You can get to that point. I know I've been at that point. It's just like, why did I even do this? Like, yo, I'm going home. Like, it's a free meal. I don't care. I mean, I could pay for a meal. It's like, It's just like, nah. If you feel like it's a waste of time, sometimes, yeah. Hey, cook it together. Okay. DJ VJ Smiles, I see you. What's up, mentor? Hey.
Hey, Robert. Robert says, hi, ladies. My pleasure, and thanks for sharing knowledge with insight. You're very welcome.
Hey, thank you, Robert. Smiles said, first date should be cooking together.
I have seen that on a show before where the first date was two people cooking together. I don't think it has to be that, DJ VJ Smiles. Of course, you can check out this Korean restaurant where you are pretty much cooking your own food, which is actually pretty fun. So, yeah, it's possible.
If you have a comment or you have a thought about this, please, let's see, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Talk to us. 404-916-5138. Don't be shy. Call us and let us chat about your perspective. We want to hear your thoughts.
We love talking.
We do love to talk. 404-916-5138. Of course, you're listening to us on YouTube's radio. All right, so waiting for you guys. So yeah, it's like the first date in the should be cooking. I don't know about that. It depends on how long I've been talking to this individual. Where
Well,
I would be open. Where are we cooking?
I don't know because
What?
I don't know how you could do cooking on your first date because that means you would have to either go to your house or the person you're trying to talk to, and this is like the first date.
No, nobody coming to my house first date. Out of your mind.
Yeah, no thanks.
Mm-mm.
Of course, you could go to a restaurant where you both cook your food. That's kind of fun.
It's kind of dangerous unless you really been talking a lot and you really feel a vibe and you feel comfortable and you let somebody know where you are. That's the key thing.
That's a good point. Do people just, is a first date just a first date? Or is it you're talking before and you go on a first date? I think people do it different ways. Because what about people that are introduced to people by a mutual friend?
Yeah.
They don't really get to know each other before. They
Right.
say, hey, I have somebody I want you to meet. You meet the person at your first date. So,
Mm.
yeah.
I don't know. Cooking on the first date. It sounds nice, very romantic, but
And maybe the first date shouldn't be romantic.
that's what I'm saying. Like, shoot. Yo, listen.
That's
this
a
is
thought,
where-
guys.
this
Maybe
is-
the first date should not be romantic.
This is where I'm at. This is the address. I will text you if I need you. All right. If I need somebody to help me out of this place, I need an emergency phone call. Can I call you, Yola?
Yeah, you can call me.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna send her a text like, yo, I need you to call me and tell me there is an emergency and I have to leave.
Yeah, that's really old school, but it still works. I think I've never had to do that.
You
But
saw
yeah.
you saw the TikTok trend where there's this guys are leaving they do a TikTok where they leave a message. It's like a conversation.
I saw
It's like a
that.
conversation. Hey, how you do? Hey, baby. Call me. You're on your Uber. Call me when you. Yeah. So that's like to
I saw
kind of
that.
help the females to feel protected as they are, in transition and route to where they're going, like maybe home or something. Yeah.
You know what? I like the idea, but now that it's out there, it's
That's
probably
the
not going to work.
problem. It's
Yeah.
not gonna work
Now that
anymore.
it's out there, it's probably not going to work
Yeah.
unless it was done before the person I saw put it out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
I thought it was a good idea.
it's a good idea, but I mean, the person that's with you doesn't know if it's true or not, but it could be true though.
It could be.
It could be. So it's a risk. It's a 50-50 risk.
Yeah.
All right. So drop everything. Let's meet. That's one of the things that people are doing now. Let's see. Ta-ta-ta-ta. So literally, they're saying, hey, you're better off being alone, and it's okay for me to be single. I am consciously single. Period.
That's what, a dating trend now?
Yeah.
Oh.
For people to
okay.
actually say, because you meet people and they're like, "Why are you single?" You're like, "Why not?" And people used to look at people like something must be wrong with you. Why you're not single?
I mean, why you are single.
Why you are single? Excuse me. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Why you're not in a relationship? Why you're not?
Mm-hmm.
Something must be wrong. So people are saying now, "Yo, it's okay. Like this is my choice. I purposely want to be single, so that's what I'm doing."
Mm. Gotcha.
Yeah. People are taking a stance. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to protect yourself.
Protect yourself. Protect
I
yourself.
think I'm hoping and I'm thinking that people are just tired of being hurt.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
Sounds
No
like
one
it.
likes to be hurt. We don't have a whole lot of time to just be getting hurt all the time.
No.
So
No.
I'm with that.
Yeah. I think that's it. That's all I got for right now.
Sweet.
Sweet. Let's see. Positive again. Yo, positive. We need you on the show. We're Otia. We're on positive Otia. 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 Ready or not?
Are you ready? Are you ready to?
We're in Atlanta, the big A.
Ready or not, so we come here to shine. Still I walk with the Savior.
We'll be talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock in a second.
Stop up in a 6-piece armor and
Yeah,
boots and
I've
ready to
got
go.
a
404.
lot to unpack.
404-916-5138. Hey, why not? Why not? Why not?
Yeah. Almighty God, in my protection. Cover me land from the evil one. Yeah, we know me fi run. We just give them more lyrics and show that we're so blessed. And the blessings that follow we all. Yeah, no matter try to see angels over me.
Pick up yourself. Pick up yourself.
Ready or not, so we come here to shine. Still I walk with the Savior every time.
Hope you're walking with the Savior.
Out ya, stop up in a 6-piece armor and boots and ready to go. Father God, cover we hold.
Father, cover us.
Every day, yeah. I know everybody a go like it. When we promote you, them a fight it. Them show the youth ways to get money, but never teach them to work. But we say no, we have people them in this yard. No more blood on the streets, yeah. Sticky and one day. Righteous living we out, yeah. Come on, ready or not, so we come here to shine. Still I walk with the Savior every time. We out ya. Stop up in a 6-piece armor and boots and ready to go. Father God, cover we hold.
Yes. This is You Choose Radio, y'all.
Very nice. You choose radio on the Positive Forces Show.
Yeah, that is positive from Trinidad again. Oats, yeah. You know, I need some. I'm a Jamaican artist, then. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this?
Positive is from Tobago, view.
That's what I'm saying. If you're in Trinidad, Tobago thing are going on. No, mama, I forgot to change that. I forgot to change that. Mama, well, I'm a people them there. My God. Go play some other tunes. But hey, everybody happy to be outside. Everybody happy to be outside and not cloaked up and not with the mask. And then, they talk about the variant and, God, another one's coming. But, yo, Smile said, drink the bleach water. Smile said, yo, listen, you have the corona or something like go on with you. Get some bleach water. Make sure you have the right portion. Drink that and
Yeah, seriously. Make sure you have the right ratio of bleach to water. Okay, guys?
Oh man, if you're just joining us, thanks for joining us on the Positive Forces Show. This is Kimone Hall and
Yola. Yols, Yoli.
Yes. So we just had our relationship topic, and we're gonna jump now into, of course, and why not? Now I know this is everybody talking about it.
Oh, we want to talk too.
We want to talk too. I don't want to hear your voice. 404-916-5138. Call us and let us know your opinion. If not, just listen to ours. So
I like that.
because we got a lot to say.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah. All right. So, did you know that Chris Rock had there were 10 of them?
10 of what?
He had 9 brothers.
No.
Yo,
I didn't know that.
Okay. So, was talking. Okay, so I saw this clip today. Tony Rock. Okay, so he's a comedian too.
I know him.
Yo, he was like, I'm a brother. Yo, Chris Rock is my brother.
They look alike.
And he was like, yo. So, of course, he was really upset about the whole situation. He was like, yo, we're going to talk about Tupac every time we get a chance. Because Will Smith had an issue with Tupac because his girl at the time, wife now, really, really loved Tupac Shakur. And she didn't really want to marry him. She didn't want to marry Will, really, but they eventually got together. So Tony Rock is like, yo, come hit me. Like, I'm gonna say everything. He called Jada a B. He was like, yo, your B looked at you sideways and you got mad, went up on stage and hit my brother. Like, yo, come hit me. Like, they are ready to retaliate because they are really offended and mad that happened to their brother on national TV. Thoughts?
Okay. So
Is Tony
where
right? Is Tony even right for wanting to do that?
where to start?
Where to start?
So, of course, violence is not the answer. Got that.
Got
My
that.
stance on it is that um, Will should not have hit Chris Rock.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the joke was. And as far as his brother, I had an issue with no one, it seemed like to me, checking on Chris Rock.
Yeah.
I had a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I noticed that, there are some people that are actually saying stuff to check on him, right? I think that Will Smith needed to be checked on also, and we're going to talk about that, what I think about that.
But he was checked on.
Yeah, he was.
He was checked on.
But I find that, and Pastor Wendy did also post something about this too, a response to someone else, that nobody had checked on him. Nobody checked to see if he was hurt. It seemed like the only people that checked on him was the police to see if they can arrest Will. And in my head, it's like arrest a black man. That's what they checked on. The police checked on him to see if he would press charges, and that's it. And no one else checked on him. I think people are probably checking on him now, but nobody talked about that because the focus was Will Smith and what he did. Now, in relation to Chris Rock's brother, no, that's not going to solve anything. But I can understand him being angry and wanting to come to defense of your brother. But I don't think he's really going to do that, and I would hope that he wouldn't really do that because it doesn't really solve anything. That's what I think. Maybe when you're in your 20s, when you're young and stupid, like we are in that age.
Well,
But as you get older, no.
He did it, and he's not young. And he thought it solved that issue at the time because his wife was really, really, not pleased about the comment that was made. And do you think the comment, his joke, was that bad?
No, actually, I think it was a bad joke because the G.I. Jane movie came out in 1992. But do I think that it warranted that the joke was that bad that you should get slapped for it? No. He's a comedian. He was doing his job. Let's just say that nobody knew that Jada Pinkett Smith suffered from alopecia. If somebody is now let's understand, everybody reacts differently to different things. Everybody's feeling gets hurt or not get hurt. But if you think of it in the context of the joke, it's about a movie where a woman shaved her head bald and looked really good doing it.
Yeah.
And she did it because of the inequality that she was suffering in the military. She wanted to show that she was as bad as the guys that were in the military.
Okay.
And so she shaved her head. So saying, love you, lady, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. No. And I actually think the only reason that Chris Rock got up, not Chris Rock, Will Smith got up and slapped him was because at first he was laughing, and then he looked at her face, and her face was doing something crazy, apparently.
Yeah, she rolled her
and for
eyes.
some reason, he felt that is what he should do.
Yeah.
But in actuality, no, it wasn't. You put us so backwards in doing that it's sad.
Oh, talk about mental health, though.
And then on the flip side, as far as Chris Rock is concerned, he showed restraint.
He did.
He showed a lot of restraint.
Impeccable.
That could have
Stellar.
gone really
South.
really badly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a brawl between these two well-known entertainers, because that's what they are, on national television for the world to see on a night that so many other ceilings were broken, including the one with him himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's so much to talk about because he even mentioned when he was crying, a lot of people saying he was fake crying. He even mentioned that, in his movie, he had to defend, and, he's just always, and he just felt like he never defended Jada like he was really supposed to, I guess. So this was it for him, and she was in pain, she was hurting. And to be, okay, I don't know. I'm thinking to be a little bit fair-ish, and I said fair-ish, to him, Like he is at home going through like all the stuff, the mental hardship that Jada has to go through.
Why?
Right, because he's home and he has to
No,
deal with it.
no,
And
because
she
they
shaved
put
her
their
head.
life on Jump Street.
All right, hold
That's
on.
why.
All right, we have a caller. Hold on.
That's why, because they put their life on display.
Yeah.
They did not have to put their life on display in that way.
True. All right, we have a caller. Caller, state your name. Where you calling from?
Yeah, DJ Smiles. I said, Will Smith then going beating
Uh
backside and
oh.
going suing.
Uh oh. I'm scared now.
You need to get boss up. You need to get boss up.
You
We're
see
not
why I'm
going to have
scared?
public beating just like when public the boxing man. Bringing that nigga to Hollywood and beating backside. A years time ago when bullshit.
Ah,
Years. Years of ago, a little cool fool. A little pitney right letter to Tupac. I wish you were here. You would be happy. Mommy and I would be happy
that letter,
if
yeah.
you were here, Tupac. Well, you Willow.
Willow, yes. That's Jada's daughter that wrote a letter to Tupac saying, "I wish you were here. Mommy misses you. I miss you. Yeah, and like family life would be better." So she did write that
What?
letter to Tupac being dead. Like, I think you're alive, because there was a lot of a lot of stuff going around saying Tupac wasn't dead, and people was like, "Nah, maybe he's in Mexico or whatever." So yes, Miles. Um, yeah,
I just I'll see now to go box, man.
you think that they should beat him up in Hollywood?
Them are gonna beat him.
They're
Them
gonna
are
do
gonna
it.
beat him net back. In disorderly thing him do this, man.
Yeah, that
That
was
make
the
no
stuff.
sense.
Yeah, yeah.
No sense. If go back August I'll see them, right? I pass all the whole to sheep up and Tupac. But they got Tupac grave and bury him again. You hear that? Big old academy have up and where few little black man win. And they are not going to back some people, your blood keep balling. What? Toxic. We go from the Cosby's to the Smiths. Huh?
The Cosby's to the what?
To the Smiths. When
To
you
the
have Will
Smiths.
Smith. Huh? How we go from Cosby's to the Smiths? Everything over there sort of come like a chemical and taxes and some whole heap of shit that go on over there.
Yeah,
Yeah?
that red table.
Do we and our film family to is another one. Do all of them messages.
True, true,
You understand me?
true.
Black people get freedom under them everywhere we are do.
Mm.
Yeah. Rap
Yeah,
contract, none of them rap contract, one of the white people thing, dog. But no one of them. Big things are going to go on. But we will do that, not that moment. No.
so
When they just walk up and just back nonsense.
so do you think people beating him up in the middle of Hollywood publicly, like he publicly hit Chris Rock, do you think that will, what do you think that will do? Will that solve it?
Yeah, man, and catch him and box him up, man.
And that will be okay. So then everything
You
is
can
squashed
rather
after
surround
that.
him and make Chris box up in backside, then still sue him blows and skirt and press charge for him. Hey, them press charge for him right now and lose that $400 million.
Easy, easy.
Easy,
Did you
easy.
see what's his name? Jim Carrey. He said that it was very striking for him to actually see that. Everybody was appalled, and Jim Carrey said, "Yo, I would sue him for at least $2 million."
Yes, man.
Yeah.
You know, say Chris Rock playing girlfriend in our comedy skit.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Chris Rock dressed up like one woman and playing girlfriend in our comedy skit.
I didn't
About a
know
couple
that.
years ago and sitting. So them know we don't know something else more than what I go on.
Ah, did you know that? Chris
So,
Rock played a female in a
yeah.
skit. What skit was that?
Yeah,
I think it was our Fresh Prince of Bel Air player was when girlfriend go up on a date, something to go trick a girl, say him have a girlfriend.
So you're saying it's probably something, because you speak this heavy patois and some people don't understand you, right? So
Oh yeah.
so you're saying that you think it's more to it than what meets the eye, than what we're hearing, what we're seeing, because and that might have been an indication that there's something more, because he played the role of a female in his show, and Will Smith's show. So you're thinking that there's something that might have gone down with them in a
Look,
relationship
yeah,
wise.
tell your man to scream out them where they out. Take my wife name out to your mouth. Take my wife name out to your mouth. It's not just that one
Episode.
conversation.
But
It's not just that one little joke. Oh, Jada, G.I. Jet. one time to call the name and just a little joke, and then all of a sudden you walk on stage and say, man, it's beyond something else beyond that. Chris Bin saying stuff.
But
Chris
what
Bin
people
saying
are
stuff.
saying is that he had enough, and it just got to him so bad because she was hurting so bad that he just got up and just acted irrationally and hit him.
One look. Okay, she should have given him like a one look and make him get over Tupac then. Anytime I can't you give him a one look, give him like a one look and him say, oh, you know what, let me go fall up in the corner. Pull up my ear. You idiot.
Somebody did
When I have
a
a
meme.
eh?
Somebody did a meme like that, with that look. But under the meme it said, "Do you want me to go ahead and cheat again?" And it was that look like, yeah, she wasn't getting
Right.
what she wanted. Yeah,
That's sad.
It's
That
an
for
again,
me,
oh, he calling my name again, look, you know?
yeah.
for me, it just
So you know,
looks.
wait till the man outside, the man and box on the man in a big old show, you walk up and I give the man 1 million back slap. Yeah.
Well, that could be like premeditated. So if he premeditated the whole thought of hitting him after the show, that's something even more serious than him being impulsive and walking up to him on stage and hitting him. That's why they would look at it as a misdemeanor, from what the
It's a
news is
time bomb.
saying.
That is a time bomb.
Ticking time bomb. Wow.
Yes, it's a ticking time bomb and I'm wife bring him to that level.
Mm, that's what many are
Bring him to
saying.
that level because there's a whole lot of stuff they want to get married or Tupac thing, open relationship, and catch her with Mark Anthony in the kitchen and the this and all the all scene like was an entanglement. And after an entanglement, his brain went untangled.
His brain went untangled.
Weird untangled. You hear me? And I was like, yeah, it's a moment of time for this boy to just take off. It was just way.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think it
Mike
was a lot
Tyson
of
on
things
stage.
that
You think
got
he
him
would go
to
up to Mike Tyson and
that
slap Mike
place.
Tyson?
You said if it was Mike Tyson, would he have gone up
You
and hit
think
Mike
he would
Tyson?
go up on
If
stage
it
and slap
was Will
Mike Tyson?
Ferrell, I don't think he would have went up there.
Even Kevin Hart.
Okay.
If it was Kevin Hart, I don't think he went up there. And I don't think that it's just because of, him talking about stuff, private stuff, and making jokes on Will and on Jada from 2016. I think it's from then and everything that went on, because he's not the only person that's ridiculed them, or as Will Smith put it, ridiculed them and disrespect him and stuff like that. It's a bunch of stuff. But again, you're in entertainment. You have to keep some stuff private.
Yeah.
Just us normal people have to keep things private. I mean, we've talked about that on this show before.
Yeah.
You can't tell everybody everything.
That you're going through.
You
Yeah.
can't.
About your relationship. Nah.
Yeah, you put it out there, and as far as the joke's concerned,
You're
it
susceptible
wasn't
to
that
anything.
bad.
It wasn't
Yeah,
that bad. You think that
it
joke was
wasn't
bad,
that bad.
Smiles? Think that was a bad joke?
I think
Nah,
you
it could lead to a movie, but now, yes, it's going to lead to a movie, but maybe Jada won't be the one starring it. He's a comedian. What do you expect? You roast. So that means that if somebody a roast and say, okay, we're going to do a roast at Jada and Will, what are you going to do? You have to sit down and take whatever they come up with.
True.
there was lots of jokes that night.
Right. The man snap out on it first. The snap out in and look first, white couple that's on them laughing and lean back. Then him just goes, 3 seconds. Jada, Jada, keep my wife, man.
That's your mouth. Yes.
Yeah,
You're virgin.
a lot of
Nah,
disrespect.
man. It's a matter of time for him. There's more stuff for him to kick off.
Mm.
He need therapy. He need to take out $1 million and go out in the middle of the ocean and buy one little land and just to chill for like about 3 months. But a big head split, you see me?
Smile.
I'm bring about 10 girls with him.
Wow, 10 girls. Well, you know
That
what?
won't fix it.
Well, that won't fix it, but Jada would probably be okay with that because that's
He
the
will fix it,
relationship.
like,
That's their
fix it,
relationship.
just,
Nah,
he
temporary.
needs to untangle.
He needs to untangle. Yo.
He needs to untangle. But they're not going to lock him up, man. They're going to first charge. They carry him down in California, man.
But they said that if they do lock him up, it would be it would be a misdemeanor. And then he'll probably get some time to serve.
Time serve, 1 day, lock up, time serve.
Time serve.
Ticket.
Yeah. So it's not it doesn't seem like it would be a heavy sentencing.
Nah.
Yeah.
But it depends. Well, in heavy sentence, then there's a lawsuit, because
Right. The
right.
lawsuit
So
will.
you don't look you let Chris look like a little biatch, biatch, biatch.
Yeah, yeah, that's the reality. Yeah.
Suppose it messes his career. Nobody want to hire him because, oh man, you didn't slap him back, man. Jeez,
And
you know.
see, that's what people are saying, that his career is pretty much over, and his kids' career. And are anybody want is anybody in the industry going to now take that chance with anybody in his family?
I
Hmm.
don't think his career is over. I think this is
Nah,
definitely a
career is not. Your
stain, but
career
I don't think
over,
his
but at least
career is over.
his
But
family
this
know a
this
super protection type of thing right
this is
now.
definitely a stain on him. People are gonna start looking at him, and if he wants to redeem himself, so to speak, he just needs to do a
Jimmy,
lot of work.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
Suppose somebody box off the kiss off of your brother now.
Well, I would. My brother would definitely.
No, no, no. You
My
don't
bro-
pull up the Bible and put the Bible. You don't put the Bible. You put the Bible. You don't put the Bible under the bed and walk out of the house with the shotgun.
did.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah, man, yeah. I
All
think
right.
I think he would take care of that himself without he wouldn't even
And a
need me.
10 brother.
He would
And a 10
ten
brother.
of them,
10
yo.
brother.
10 of them, yo. Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
He was definitely wrong and disrespectful. And you want to look at things from a biblical perspective, but boy, this one is a hard one. And
You box the brother who will feed the family.
yeah, see, Jesus. I mean, the Bible talks
Huh?
about there's a time for everything, and a time for a whoop behind would probably would
Boy,
probably
a time bomb man. He's a time bomb man.
would be
Thinking
in
that there's
order.
more to come with him.
Yeah, there's a
You, you,
lot more to
you
come.
can't allow him in no building now.
Hey, so what do you think? Both of you, the academy told him to leave. If it was, and he didn't leave. He said no. If it was anybody else, they probably would have locked them up for resisting to follow the
Leave.
rules, right?
I don't think anybody would
Yeah.
have been locked up for not following the rules, but I think that if the academy did ask him to leave and he refused to leave, that just shows how much he did not feel sorry for what he did to Chris Rock.
Yep.
It
Yep.
did not
Yep.
show any
No
remorse.
respect, man.
It showed that he has this privilege complex, and it shows that he just didn't really care what happened at that moment. I
I
think
think.
even the speech after it was just a kind of, I'm really not sorry about what I did, but I have to say something. So let me cry and say some stuff. And through all of this, we're being very judgy. Let me say that.
Yeah.
And we should be compassionate, which I'm still working on. And we are, at some point, we'll get to there. But in the right now, yeah, he hasn't, the whole apology to the person that you hurt came after the fact,
He only apologized to the
way
academy
after the fact. And I feel
immediately.
it like it would have been
Nah, man,
nice
he was stuck in
if
character. He was stuck in
within,
character of King Richards and it gets to his
That's
head.
what he said. He was like his
Yeah,
character
it's
kind
stuck
of
in the
like
right,
King.
came
Oh,
back.
King
right,
Willie. King
right,
Willie, Big Daddy, Big Willie, Jiggy Jiggy. Yeah, what? Let's
yeah.
enjoy the show. DJ Kaj is up next on YouTube Radio.com at 6 o'clock.
DJ Kaj
All
at
right,
6.
so
All
ladies,
right.
wonderful program. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all.
Love you
Yola
too,
Lewis,
Swaz.
Kimone Hall, Shellman, crank it.
Shucks.
Thank you, DJ BJ
Thank you,
Smile.
DJ Smile. Like you said, 6 o'clock. Listen out for the next DJ. And make sure you keep it locked with us here on YouTube's radio, talking about Will Smith and Jada Pickett and all the drama that's going on. And it is real though. It's real. It's real. Hey, TikTok is like that's a huge trend, but now like, even my son got a TikTok with that. And I'm looking at it like, yo, what do you do? You can't stop people from continuously clowning now on the situation.
Yeah, I think there's people that are clowning, but I think there's people that are really upset, and are still talking about it. And I can't. This, I think, has hit so hard that people are still talking about it a week out. Because this
It's
happened
not
last
gonna
week,
stop now.
Sunday.
It's not gonna
It's not
stop.
going to stop now. I think that it triggered a lot for a lot of people. I think that even for people that are Christians, because I've heard one comment that I agreed with. that, the order of how your family should be in comparison to the order of his family. His family's order is upside down.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And it just shows to the confusion what is going on in his mind. And you talked about mental illness, and that's very true. I don't think that he's mentally ill, but I do think that he's having a mental crisis. And that's because all of the things that have been going on. I think he's having a mental crisis. I don't think he's in control as a man. I think that even the act of him slapping Chris Rock with his hand open, there's so much to that is extremely disrespectful in itself.
Would it have been better with a fist?
Not better. It's just what it means to slap him with the open hand. That
So
is
there's
what
a
it
difference
is.
between the open hand and the fist.
Yes,
Tell us.
he slapped. He's a man,
Yes.
and he slapped a man with an open fist, which is him basically telling this man that he is the B, right? And some people would think that him slapping with the open hand shows that he is also kind of feminine, right? And to me, when you look at it, Jada could have stopped him from going up there. And even after he went up there and came back down, you could see this, oh, I did something right. I defended my woman. Who called you to do that? He talks about, oh, I was called to defend women. You actually think that you would be called that way? It just goes to show the confusion, what is in his mind and his family, and how the roles in that is reversed. And it also shows what you've taught your children. Because if your son can turn around and write a tweet that says that's how we do it, and you don't pull him up,
Make him take it down, right?
that's a problem. I'm sorry. It just shows you the confusion. You have to have that good foundation. Even in the entertainment industry, you have to have a good foundation.
Yeah.
There are people in entertainment that are Christians and live their lives a certain way and still entertain and are successful.
Look at Denzel. So Denzel, he proclaims to be a Christian, right?
Yeah.
And he's very close, not too open with his relationship with his wife.
He's very close.
Very close,
It's
right?
private. It's no one's business. But there's another actor who is Christian, and he will not kiss any women in any of his movies, and he's been in a ton of movies. And he's very successful. So
What do you think about that, though?
what?
It's kind of taking it away from the Will Smith, but being in a movie, but you're in the movie, you're giving the connotations, you're giving the storyline, you're propelling all of this. No, you're not kissing the person, but you're still giving the acceptance of adultery, the acceptance of fornication. Is that right? Not to kiss the person, but you're still, is that kind of like a double, is that kind of a sticky thing?
Yeah, I can see that being sticky, but in reference to that actor, he just doesn't do roles where he's in that situation.
Yeah.
He doesn't, and it still is successful. So you don't have to do that. Yes, that's what everybody wants to see. Art imitates life, la 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 la. But when you get to a certain place in your life and career, you get to pick and choose. Even women that feel they don't get to pick and choose, you actually can pick what you want to be in and what you don't want to be in,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
And in the Smiths putting their life on display like that, it just opened themselves up to a lot of ridicule. And I just think because all their roles in that family are in the wrong order, they have opened themselves to spiritual warfare.
That's it.
I'm just going to say it like it is.
That's what it is.
When Denzel Washington made that quote about when you're at your highest point, the devil will come at you.
Yes.
I think that Will Smith may have thought he was talking about Chris Rock, but that's not who he was talking about, guys. He was talking about him on the inside. On the inside.
That's good.
Gotta fight.
You gotta fight.
It's a war.
It's a war. Final thoughts. Yo, it's been great, man. It's been great. It's been great.
Final
It's been
thoughts
great.
already? I was having such a good time.
I know.
I didn't get to give half of my thoughts
I know.
on that whole situation,
I
man.
know. It's just so much to
Dang.
final thoughts.
And I don't think
man.
we can talk about it next week because it'll be too late. But anyway.
No, it will never be too late. This is not gonna end anytime soon.
Well, maybe I can give you guys the rest of what I thought about next week. But final thoughts. You know what? I'm just going to go back to Yoli's corner today, guys. Let's try to practice restraint. And the best way to practice restraint is to have a strong foundation. Be like the third pig in Three Little Pigs. Use bricks. Build your house on a rock. Have a strong foundation. Know what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to act, and realize that it's not easy. I'm not saying that it is, but this is what we should strive to do. Have restraint. Have a strong foundation. And love each other. That's my final thought. That's my final thought.
All right. And that foundation that Yola's talking about, to me, yo, that foundation is God. Build your foundation on a strong foundation, which is God. There is no other name under the sound of anybody's voice that can save you other than Jesus Christ. So if I were you, I would look into that and pray about that. If you're not a believer, you're just like, hey, I'm not into this God thing. Pray about it. Ask God to show you, to reveal Himself unto you. You know, God, are you really real? You know, I'm still alive. There's so much that so many people that are gone, that are dead. You know, hey, I'm still here. There got to be purpose for me, Lord. You know, thank you for being God, and just ask God to help you to get to know Him a little bit more. And not saying that your life will be greatest, but it will be much, 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 much better when you have your foundation on God. So, guys, thank you for keeping it locked with us here on You Choose Radio on the Positive Forces Show. We absolutely love and adore you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the calls. Thank you just for sharing and liking this broadcast. And we just pray that you will have a safe rest of the week. And keep it positivity, ITY, positivity.
ITY.
Yes, keep it locked with us. Next week, same time, 4 p.m. on You Choose Radio. Have faith. Stay calm. Stay calm even when someone hits you.
Yeah, stay calm. Show restraint. Let's go.
This is Rising out of Trinidad again. What's going on with this?
Yes, Trinidad. Let's go. Where you fly? Jump up. There should be road march. Pastor Wendy knows what I'm talking about. Let's go. Chip.
Consider what I've done.
The giants have to run. Don't you forget
Who got this?
my Jesus, my Jesus, my Jesus. Hey, who got this? My Jesus.
You Choose Radio.
Get your confidence back. Get your confidence. Hey, Jesus had us under control. On his well with my soul. Jesus had us under control. All is well with my soul. I'm back and I'm ready now, man. Make confidence come action. His hand is not too short to say.
This is my song.
It's he who is in me.
Who got this?
I know my God will defend me. The giants will fall. Jesus said, daughter. Remember that I love you. Just look how far I brought you from. The giants have to run. Don't you forget who got this? My Jesus. Hey, who got this? My Jesus. Get your confidence back. Get your confidence. Hey, Jesus had us under control. All is well with my soul. Jesus had us under control. All is well with my soul. So to your neighbor right now, one tell them. Stay calm. Have faith. Stay calm.
You Choose Radio.
Stay calm. Put your sling up to the sky and swing it from the ground. Put your faith in our Most High God, 'cause every single giant in your life will have to fall down. Put your sling up to the sky. Now let it go. Look, Goliath in